In this final episode of the Lost in Kruger series, we head to the incredible King's Camp in the TIMBAVATI, one of the top lodges on the continent. It's more serious than usual for the first half, as we talk to some of the amazing people on the ground in the fight to protect rhinos. But we end the trip with a couple of game drives and some incredible sightings, so I hope I strike a good balance and you guys enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Kruger Park.
We are going to King's Camp in the TIMBAVATI. How exciting is that?
No glasses, no hair, who dis?
Stylish Timmy again. Give me one small little town. It's not even a city, and look how stylish I am. So to wrap up our impromptu Greater Kruger National Park trip, we are heading through to the TIMBAVATI, which is so exciting. It's an area I've always dreamed of going and never have gone. And we're staying at King's Camp, which is probably one of the most luxurious camps in the whole of the country. So really excited about it. It should be super cool. And we're not going as regular guests or to do normal guest stuff. We're going there to make a film for them about a charity fundraiser that they're doing to raise funds for the Rhino anti-poaching unit, which at the moment is really struggling with funds because most of these high-end luxury lodges are dependent on international tourists, and at the moment there's no international tourists, so they've all taken a real hit. And unfortunately, the knock-on effect of that is that they're able to contribute less funds to anti-poaching. So they are doing a marathon, and we're going to help them shoot a promo video about it. And it's all for a really great cause. So go check it out, guys. I'll put some links in the description. We got into camp, put our bags down, grabbed the gear, and headed out to start filming straight away.
Hi, my name is Grant. I work and live here in the TIMBAVATI Private Nature Reserve. Last year I took on a 92-kilometer run for conservation. And, this year I'll be doing the same. We'll be joined by fellow competitors. Due to COVID, we've lost much needed funding through visitors to the reserve. 60% of it goes to actual anti-poaching. The majority of that is for rhino. We've had to come up with initiatives and other ways of funding, and we have created the TIMBAVATI Traverse.
After having chatted to Grant about his incredible initiative to raise funds, we headed through to the TIMBAVATI headquarters to talk to the head of Ranger Services about what the funds will be used for and why they are so badly needed.
Hello everyone, my name is Anton Mzimba. I work for the TIMBAVATI Private Nature Reserve. I've been working for TIMBAVATI for 23 years now. So I'm currently occupying the position of head ranger. I started right from the grassroots, like being a junior field ranger to a senior field ranger, until I reached the current position. And my responsibilities are like deploying field rangers, doing patrols and patrolling the reserve and investigate any crime that may happen on the reserve. Things have changed dramatically because when I started, our focus as field rangers was on subsistence poaching, where poachers will come with dogs or snares to catch an animal for meat. But no, as time went past, people moved from subsistence poaching for commercial poaching, focusing mainly on rhino poaching for their horns. There is a rise in rhino poaching daily because recruitment from the syndicate side, it's always taking place. It never stops. People are being recruited to become part of the syndicate group and to kill animals. Yeah, in terms of funding, it's quite difficult for the reserve. I feel the pressure on the reserve side because 60% of the budget goes to the security. It's a lot of money that is put for protection of wildlife because without wildlife, the reserve wouldn't exist. Looking at the future of the species, I'm talking about rhino now. Yeah, I'm not in a position to extrapolate more about this because I've got a feeling that we are more on the side of losing the battle. However, this is not a good thing to say, but I'm saying this based on what's happening on a daily basis when you hear rhino carcass so and so place, rhino carcass so and place. So if I try to match the birth of rhinos and the death of rhinos, for me it sounds like more death than birth. So if we are going to put this equation, you will see that things are not matching up. We always have people on patrol, day and night. That's what warrants that most of the budget goes to the security. Sometimes you find that for 3 or 5 or 7 days, you have rangers doing overtime, non-stop, because of the amount of threat that comes to the reserve. We have to deal with that. In terms of tourism, because this is a tourism destination, we have to have guests, entering, gate fees were not charged, everything was on hold. But yet they have to pay. So it's something that the reserve also did, according to my opinion. They did very good because they never retrenched anyone. They managed to keep us working, yet getting paid, though they were not receiving any income. We really appreciate what Mr. Grant did last year for us. We will get the funding, and through this funding, keeps the boots on the ground, keeps us alive. It's a sort of motivation. So it boils back to what I've been saying, that as a reserve, we have been hit hard about this COVID-19 and there was no income. That's why these initiatives of getting funding from whoever is willing to do this, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
The absolute dedication of people like this is the only thing standing between rhinos and extinction. I had another long chat with Anton afterwards about the link between unemployment and poaching. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing that. With people like this dedicating their lives to protecting rhinos, I believe we have a chance.
We're approaching a crash of rhinos. There we go. Let's pull up here and take a look-see. So, now, white rhinos. So. Notice ears all pointing to us. The rhino's not the greatest sight or anything like that, but they rely a lot on what they hear and smell. So you can see they're already starting to relax with us. Those ears are starting to head backwards and forwards. Kind of one of the easiest ways to tell the difference between your black and white rhino is actually the way they hold their heads. Your black rhino, being a browser and eating the leaves, it actually holds its head up high, whereas your white rhino, being the grazer, long jaw, holds the head down low, constantly feeding on the grass. A lot of people would mention size and things like that, but as you can see here, this would be the relative size of a black rhino, a fully grown black rhino. So size is never a great one for me. There's a good possibility that in my lifetime I'm actually going to see the extinction of the white rhino in the wild. So that is what scares me. There's a good probability of that if we don't do something about it. And it comes down to each and every one of us doing something, whether it doesn't matter how big it is. But if we all contribute just a little bit, there's a chance. I want to play my part in it.
Grant summed it up beautifully. We've lost a lot of battles, but the war is not over, and we can all play a part in turning it around. Incredible people like this are on the front lines in the fight to save the species. There are links below if you want to get involved. We had a short night drive and then headed back to camp for an early night after a very long, hard day.
So it's morning safari time, which is always awesome. I'm really excited. It's our first proper safari because we've been working. So I'm really excited to see what we can find. It's going to be really, really cool.
It was a tough day yesterday. It's sometimes easier to ignore the crisis facing our wildlife, but I believe it's important to increase the exposure of these issues. But we deserved a relaxed, beautiful day in the bush, and the TIMBAVATI certainly had one in store for us.
When you look up and you actually find that the lion's sitting in the bush over there, watching, going, what is he doing?
Yeah.
What's he looking for?
Why is he on foot?
Yeah. I have done that with guests before.
Really?
Yeah. Got off the cars. Oh God, these leopard tracks look good. It's like a male leopard. I walked out and he was sitting behind the bush watching me.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah.
So we got two leopards up a tree, busy eating an impala. And underneath the tree, there's a whole bunch of hyenas hoping that they're going to drop the Impala to them.
So yeah, you would notice how she's using the side of her mouth. And it's called the carnassial shear. It's basically where the premolars and molars of the upper and lower jaw meet. It creates this knife blade that they use to actually feed on. And this is where the word carnivore comes from. So all of your carnivores have the carnassial shear. So from your mongooses all the way up to your leopards, it's basically that junction of teeth creating that knife blade, and therefore carnivore. This is why the hyenas love young leopards, because they're inexperienced. They haven't quite figured it out yet, how to hook it and how to place it in the tree. And that.
So he might drop a piece here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, drop the whole thing.
Incredible elephant sighting. Being so close to them is always just amazing. And this herd's very relaxed, so we're driving in amongst them, which is exceptional. Absolutely magic. Magic morning.
If you're hot days, if you're ever looking for ellies, head to your riverbeds.
Yeah, they.
Lush vegetation, cool, you get the breeze coming down there, but not only that, it's access to fresh water. So they dig their holes and then they just kind of rest up in those areas. Elephant's trunk holds between 9 and 12 liters of water, and they'll drink up to 100 liters. But they are adapted. They can go through dry spells and not drink for up to about 4 days. Your desert adapted elephants in Namibia go like that. But here they'll try to come to water twice a day at least.
After a beautiful morning drive, we headed back to camp for a little siesta before heading back out for an afternoon safari, and what a safari it was going to be. We've been so incredibly lucky with wild dog sightings recently that you would swear they love me as much as I love them. Dogs have been known to hunt wildebeest, but they are generally considered to be too big for them. The wildebeest weren't taking any chances though. This pack was trying to drink, but was sensibly nervous with the hippos in the dam. Hippos are arguably the most dangerous land mammals in the world. It's not just because they weigh up to 3 tons and have 35 centimeter long self-sharpening canines, but mostly because they are super grumpy and extremely territorial. And believe it or not, they're actually herbivores. This is the same beautiful female we had seen earlier. It's thought that her scars are from a fight with another leopard when she was younger, but it does not affect her at all. Her name is Nyaleti, which means stars, and since we filmed this, she's had another 2 cubs. Incredible drive, and just when we thought it couldn't get any better, the Kings came to say goodbye. I love Africa so much, it burns like a fire inside of me, and we should do everything in our power to preserve these incredible wildlife areas, the animals that live in them, and the communities that depend on them. So we had an incredible day in the TIMBAVATI. We're staying at King's Camp. It's so beautiful here, it's ridiculous. We ended it with the night drive, and saw some incredible stuff. Saw 2 big male lions, saw a leopard. We got back to our room, and there's this amazing table set out for us for our private dinner. And then we found that there was a surprise in the bathroom. How cool is that? They'd run a bath and put some candles out. And if you go for the deluxe suite option, it comes with a Bianca. Cheers, gorgeous. How was your drive today?
Amazing.
Morning. So that incredible drive brings an end to our stay in the TIMBAVATI and our 3 weeks back in Kruger. We aren't going to be in the park for a a while now. It makes me a little bit melancholy, but Mozambique is on the horizon now. We're really excited now to get back to Mozambique for Lost in Mozambique. Join us next week as we start to make our way back towards Mozambique, but we take a detour on the way, and I bet you can guess where we sneak a visit. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and please hit that like and subscribe button if you did.